Alright, welcome back. I'm Rodney, also with Northwoods Railway. If you remember our last video, we left off with my gate being about half built, and I had it out in the workroom. But today, as you can see, it's both edges are connected. This took a little doing. I got everything done. Finally, I had to do a lot more trimming and changing some ideas, but I'm going to get over here on the side where the gate is, and I'm going to kind of show you what I did. Okay, so as you can see, the gate swings okay. I need to probably make a little more trimming here. I put casters underneath, and it doesn't roll perfectly yet. I got a few more things I need to do. Doesn't like to get over that last spot in the carpet. I'm going to try and get some of that stuff that people put under their desks. But anyway, it's all pretty level. So our next part is going to be putting the foam on here. Once I get some more stuff done, I got to make some bracing. I plan on putting another leg here with a caster on it. I'm probably going to actually make one that can swivel there, because that swings quite a ways. These other casters are just hard casters, and they don't go nowhere. They just stay in a straight line, so that's probably why I had a problem coming in. I got to figure out a locking mechanism, but everything else seems to work pretty good. I did end up putting all three of my hinges in, so I have all three hinges. Let's see, what else did I do here? This was here before, I believe. I did have to put some little supports. They didn't work very well. They broke as soon as I put a screw through them, even though I pre-drilled the holes. But they do hold this up level, so I'm hoping by the end of next week to have some track running across, maybe get some trains running. Other than that, it was just some simple construction. The legs, I ended up adding a third board to them to add the casters, because I needed the third board for the distance of the casters, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Alright, so here we are right down at the floor level where the casters run across the floor. As you can see, I'm running carpet here. I really need to get some sort of plastic down so that they roll better. As you can see, they're not turnable. They won't move either way. It does cause a little bit of problem, but not much. I guess I could have used regular casters that turn, but I didn't want to fight too much. I'm gonna, hopefully this ain't too shaky, but as you can see, all I did was I took a piece of scrap 1x4 that I had and screwed it on to each one of the legs, and they gave me enough room to put all 4 screws in the casters, and this seems to work pretty good. Like I said, I'm gonna put a third leg in yet on this side, right up here on the bridge. There'll be a third leg. Actually, right here will be the third leg. Come down to here. This seems to work pretty good so far. I'm really actually quite surprised. Usually my craftsmanship skills ain't that good, and I mean, if you see everything here, you can see. Maybe you can see that, I did the best I could with what I have. It ain't perfect. Of course, you can see all the wiring hanging down in the background, and I do what I can. But that's it for the bridge until we get the styrofoam on it. I just got to get a few legs, and you can probably see my styrofoam standing there in the background. I got one other thing I want to show you, and Alright, so this is my other little project I've been working on. I do not remember the guy's name, but he runs HON3, I believe it is. And he built all his own switches, he built all his bridges and everything. I sat and watched his video on how to build bridges, which gave me ideas, but the bridge didn't look exactly as I wanted it. So I went out and I found some other videos, and the one that really caught my attention was, I believe it's pronounced Prognosis 2001 is the user on YouTube. I'll put a link on the screen here for you. But I really did like the way he built his bridges. He actually used dowels instead of, I'm using square dowels, he used round dowels. But the idea behind the way he built his bents worked great for me. Now, all I did was I built a bent pattern. I'm hoping, let's see if I can set this against the bridge or something. Yeah, I built kind of a bent pattern. I know it looks kind of goofy just looking at it, but what I ended up doing is this one here is this leg, and then this is this leg. So see, it kind of sat in there like that. It won't fit in there now because I got the whole bent put together. But this is my fourth and final bent. They don't always turn out perfect. Like I said, I'm no craftsman, but you know, I'm kind of happy the way things turned out. I gotta do a little work up here. It's not level. I gotta sand it like I've done with the others. I got bored last week and I took some brown paint to these two. These two were in. This one just went in. I've just been gouging out the holes in the styrofoam. And that's actually covered with plaster cloth. And then what I did when I went to put the stuff back in, or put everything back in, up here I filled both these with hydrocal. But then what I did is I went and I got my grass material that I've got like 3 different types here now, and filled it around it, and then I painted the bent, so the bent looked a little different. Actually, that bent looks a little crooked, but who cares? But see, now I got to go through here, right around in here is where this bent's going to sit. What I've been doing is using 3-inch long units, and what they are is I use 3 pieces. I believe they're 7/16 by 1/4 inch or something like that. They're not real big, but I take 3 of them, and I take .025 styrene, and I make little spacers, and I put 3 spacers in there, and I glue all 3 of them together. In fact, I've got 3 out in the workroom. I think I might show you that once I get done explaining this. But anyway, that's these pieces right here, and that's where I got the idea from the guy that did the HON3, and I really like that. It looks a lot better, gives a little bit more realism to the railroad, gives me a little more space to glue to. And then my ends, this is the opposite end that goes right in here, and all I did was, I'm not even sure, these are like 1/4 inch by, I think they're 1/2 inch or something boards. I just cut them, I tried to cut both sets the same length, and then I cut these pieces so that they would fit in there. And as you notice, there's a gap here at the top. I kind of left that on purpose so that there was room for my cross beams to connect to. But you know, it's just really simple, and then this will end up glued here to the wall, and that's actually the last bent technically. And before I do that, because I kind of learned my lesson with the other one, I'm going to paint myself, because I don't think I'm going to be able to cut my fascia to fit right in there. I'm going to paint it up to at least here, and then on this side I'll paint to about here. So, and this will, I've got to clean some mess up. There's like glue coming down, there's some plaster here, just things. Obviously, you know, I plan on using water. I used some glue sticks to glue some stuff the other day, and of course now I got strings everywhere. I'm sure you've all seen this product before. It's Realistic Water by Woodland Scenics. I got it given to me by the train shop owner. He used it for a project and didn't need the rest of it, so since I do a lot of stuff for him, he's always helping me. But let's get out to the workroom and kind of got everything all rearranged out there, so it's a little bit nicer. I got a little bit better work desk out there. Okay, so we're out in my workroom. It's actually a dining room, but it's my workroom. So what I do is, like I said, I got a strip of styrene here. It's just, what is it? It's 0.10 by 0.25, so a quarter inch by a tenth of an inch or something, or 1/100th of an inch. So what I do, if I can find my knife, there it is I just go in here. You're not going to be able to see very well because I got a different blade this blade don't work. I broke my good blade. Oops, okay, there. I don't know if you can see these little pieces, but I just cut these little pieces off, and I'm only cutting them, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, less than a quarter, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch wide or something. It don't really matter. It's just to kind of give the illusion of space between. I mean, you could literally glue these right straight together. Nobody would really know the difference in HO. Now, if you're an O or something, people would notice. But anyway, as you can see, I've got 6 little pieces. They're different sizes. Now, what I do is I just use this Tybond glue. It's not much different than regular Elmer's glue. I do have a big gallon of the Elmer's now, but this is what I had at the time when I started doing this project. So what I do, and I hope my big fat fingers aren't in the way too much, is I put 3 dots on the board, and then I just, normally these things will stick right to my fingers, but today they'd be in not enough humidity in the house or something. So I just set them right in the glue. I know you're thinking, oh, these aren't straight. Well, don't worry, we'll straighten them out. Now that one's really kind of big, but like I said, all we're trying to do is give the illusion that there's, when these are made, normally there's metal spacers in there in between so that the rain can run down between our real bridge. I wish I could remember the guy's name because he did a lot. He did a lot of nice showing how to. But like I said, prognosis video is pretty decent. I asked him a lot of questions. He was really helpful. Okay, so now I got them down in the glue. Now all I do is I try to line one end up the best I can, and I sandwich it. Easy. Okay, and then we just repeat the process. So just get our blob of glue there, and it don't matter if you get a little extra here and there. It don't matter if they line up perfectly with the other ones, because it's not like we're using NBWs and going for the full illusion. You know, I could use nut bolt washers and glue a little hole on, or drill a little hole on the outside and glue them in, but it's not something I want to do right now. I mean, if you had a larger scale, it's a little bit better, but I don't know, I don't see the point of paying a bunch of money for something that nobody's really going to see. But anyway, like I said again, I just stick these down in the glue, straighten them out. Make this one turn completely sideways. See, and there's more than enough, with the way I did it, there's more than enough glue left over. and then you just sandwich this one on top. And all I do is I use the tabletop and I straighten one edge out. I sand both ends anyway. I've got a little sanding block here. As you can see, it's well used. All I do is once it's done, I can't do it right now because it'll move all over the place, but I'll take it and I'll go across. I already messed it up a little bit. But I just set it across something where it can where if the glue drips, it's not going to hurt nothing, like these old wire connectors or old wire loops. Anyway, that's how I make those. Alright, so anyway, I've been on YouTube for a while. I really like a lot of other people's videos. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already subscribe to some of these people, but I just want to kind of give a shout out to some of these people. I really like them. I think they do a really good job. I've learned a lot from a lot of these people. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with DJ's Trains. He makes some really good videos. It's in scale, but there's no such thing as scale when you're building. You can always scale stuff up. He does some really interesting stuff. He explains a lot of stuff in the railroad. I believe he works for CSX, I believe it is. But yeah, and then another person I really like is Arthur Houston 3. I want to make sure I put all these links in the bottom. Don't worry about it. They'll be there for you. Arthur does a lot of CTC stuff. And this is what my plan is. I plan on going to computer controlled myself. I really like his videos. He's actually helped me out. I've been looking for a signaling system. I run NCE, as you probably know from my videos, and there really isn't anything out there for NCE for signaling. And Arthur's helped me out. He's shown me told me about this stuff, some other stuff that's got, I believe he said there's 24 outputs on it for LEDs, so that'll get me quite a few signals. Another person I like watching is, I believe his name is James. It's JWII 2000. I'm sure a lot of you guys watch him. He does some really nice reviews and stuff. You know, I know a lot of people are jealous of him because he gets all this stuff, but hey, you know, I don't really care. It gives me an idea. He's a Union Pacific guy. I love Union Pacific, so I get a lot of ideas of what I want to buy from watching his reviews. You know, I've got a wish list a mile long because of James, so. Another person I really like is IamRRO.com. The guy's hilarious. I try to take everything he says with a grain of salt, but when he's talking about trains and he's talking about, you know, how to do stuff, he's very serious. But the guy is fun to watch, as far as I'm concerned.